What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on Forever Flame Racing Reviews. And sorry for this late video on the Laguna Seca race. I thought it was important for me to really get my facts down and make a good video about the NBC and IndyCar dilemma that's probably going to be happening the rest of the year. So NBC versus IndyCar. I think this is the first race since the Fox deal's been announced that NBC has known, at least publicly known, that they were not going to be the TV covering, whatever the correct grammar. They will not be covering IndyCar in 2025. So I think that we saw that they don't really care for IndyCar anymore in 2024. I don't know if it's to get back at IndyCar or if it's a business deal, because they are clearly focusing more on IMSA and NASCAR race, because this weekend, the NASCAR race got a rain delay. They ran the race, and then halfway through it just started pouring. Well, then at 6 o'clock, the IndyCar race was supposed to happen, but it didn't. At one point, the only time you could watch the IndyCar race was on Peacock. And if you don't have Peacock, you may not have been able to watch the IndyCar race until I watched the whole race on Peacock, so I don't know when exactly it crossed over, but I know at one point it did cross over onto the main coverage. And it was supposed to be on the USA Network, and from my understanding, it never once got in the USA Network. It went on CNBC, on lap 6 or 7, I believe. I don't know. That's just what I've been told. I could be wrong, but I just want to say I think the coverage is going to be not great for the rest of the season from IndyCar, which is unfortunate in my opinion, but I think it's the reality that we face. So maybe just enjoy the championship battle for the people that watch it. Don't look at the numbers, and let's just look forward to 2025. Now let's do some shout-out drivers. I need a drink. My throat's a little sore. So some shout-out drivers from this weekend. Colin Herta. I mean, when he came on the radio and said, if I can't get Plo on the restart, I'm not going to go for him. I mean, why has he not been doing this all year? I think Herta would be in 25 points of the championship lead, if not closer. I mean, he didn't do great at the GP. The 500 spun it, and Detroit, he hit the wall. If he didn't have those 3 races, Herta would be in this championship fight. And the only reason he didn't do great at the GP is because his team ran him out of gas in qualifying. So I think Colton Herta could be on a bounce back this second half of the year. Real impressed with him, how he just ran a P2. Alexander Rossi looked like he could have won the race at one point, but got back on the podium. His team made a bad strategy call and got him back on the podium. Real impressive Alexander Rossi. Good to see his pace. Another shout-out driver, Nolan Siegel, did a phenomenal job. I mean, that was really hard asking from him just to jump in a car and be competitive. But I think they're going to do is McLaren are sticking with Siegel. They want him in that car, and the rest of 2024 is just getting him ready for 2025. That number 6 was a throwaway year this year, so I think the rest of the season is just about getting Nolan Siegel ready for 2025. And then David Malukas. Wow. I mean, I picked him as to be my overperformer, and that lived up to the hype. I'm super impressed that 66 has had no pace all year, and he put pace in it this weekend. So David Malukas, great job, and it'd be interesting to see where David Malukas is driving at next year. The yellow flags scenario, in my opinion, I'm not going to touch into this too hard. If you need a yellow, throw the yellow flag instantly. Marcus Armstrong could have been hit. He could have gotten really hurt the way his car was positioned, and it was weird that it was a Penske driver that they did that for. But it wasn't just for Joseph Newgarden. They've always done this. But IndyCar, if there needs to be a yellow flag, you throw it right away. Plain and simple, it's how racing should be. They shouldn't be going green flag for letting guys that need to pit. Nope, not how it should be. Just throw the yellow if you need a yellow. That's all I got to say on that. Unfortunately, there was not a lot of fans there. They kept doing high view shots, and you could see the grandstands, and they were maybe a quarter full. That's concerning. The races this year have been really sold out. I've been really impressed by the people that have gone to races this year. There's been a ton of fans there. I'd say this has been the least popular IndyCar race. And it sucks because it's such an historic track. But if we can't get fans there, then maybe we do need to think about moving on from Laguna. And that sucks because of how awesome racing it brings. But I'd bet there wasn't 10,000 people there. And if we can be getting that to race, I mean, come on. Man, I get that the track's in the middle of nowhere, but come on, guys. You fans that live out there, get a ticket to Laguna. IndyCar tickets are very reasonable. You just gotta get out there. The rest of the season. Let's just talk about the rest of the season real quick. I think the rest of the season viewerships are going to be down. So for those of us that watch it, we just got to enjoy it. I think it's going to be an insane title fight. Hybrids debut at Mid-Ohio. It's going to be exciting to see what that does. And I think it's just going to be a thrilling rest of the season. So this is just a little yap session for me. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and see ya.